we have 3 matches, all at 2 Eastern here in the secondary. Key Aliens versus Epic Yoshi, Bamboo Shadow versus Signimbus, and the Prof Gamer versus Leslie Pro 04, all at 2 o'clock Eastern. So much randomizer mania going on today.
And there we go.
And already we have a route divergence. We have Vascos heading up. Looks like he's going to dip into the early part of Escape. Meanwhile, Oyster is going to check parts of South Hyrule, see if he can farm up some bombs over here for Kakariko Village.
And Vascos with the lucky bomb drop.
Your uncle just giving you a heart container. Meanwhile, we're going to see what's in this racing game, see if we're looking at Jet Seed or just a bunch of useless stuff at the moment. OysterSA, okay, not OysterSA. Okay, I'm fine with that. So far, not a lot of things. We've checked a half dozen different areas and not a lot going on so far. Looks like Oyster is going to be going over Kakariko at the moment.
Vasco's going to the Lost Woods and probably gonna grab another 4 bombs. Pulling the tree.
Yeah, getting bombs from tree early just means you won't have to waste any more time bombing. Unfortunately, Oyster hasn't pulled a tree yet, so he doesn't quite know that. Going to spend some time farming up some bombs. Still, these aren't the decisions that really make or break a run unless it gets close down at the end. What really does is the routing decisions. And did you see that on the ledge?
Was it Bo?
Yes, we have Bo. We're going to have a required Aga seed, ladies and gents.
Now that got really interesting.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of Aga required seeds in the tournament so far, so it'll be really interesting to see how these two handle it. We don't have a map check yet to see where exactly the pendants are, to see if they might have to do an early pendant. And we have the flute also. Meanwhile, Oyster pulling the mirror in the well cave. There's some interesting value early on here. They're gonna run into each other in Blind's house, give each other a high five here. Flipper's Fire Rod. Another heart container. My goodness, Quake! What is this seed do we have here, Dustin?
That could be a really good early start, but awful at the end. So we have to wait how it plays out or how they gonna progress from here on. But it gets really interesting with these kind of items.
Yep, we're seeing a lot of value, but not a lot of direction in terms of where to go. We know that we're going to have to get to Aga eventually, so look for either a Master Sword or possibly a cape at some point in the near future, but tons of items available early. Shout out to our tracker, by the way, who's really doing a great job. Kermit, who's helping us out on tracking And we have Zelnus on restreaming. Lots of work already for these two early in the day. Oh, and in Chicken Hut, we have the first sword.
Interesting. Oyster didn't check the ledge, so he doesn't know it's bow.
That's going to make a big difference later on as we go through. I don't think he even checked. I don't think Oyster has the sword either. He is going to go ahead and unlock the flute, though. And there's a bottle in the library on the ledge. Probably not going to get that unless that's the only bottle that he'll be able to unlock. In the meantime, Oyster is going to go down to Swamp. Now, Vasco does have an interesting knowledge gap here, knowing that Bo is going to be on the ledge, and there's another sword. So between one sword at the Chicken Hut and another one in the first part of the dam, we'll have Master Sword. We'll be able to beat Aga. We might see an early Aga dive here.
If we get the lamp, that is.
Oh, true. We're going to need the lamp.
Unless both players are confident enough to do the first Aga in the dark. I wouldn't be.
Oh, neither would I. Aga, I mean, Aga is probably the most difficult dark room in the entire game, just because you have nothing that you can kind of brace yourself against.
Yeah, and with just green mail, the blue soldiers will wreck you. So it might not be the best idea to go there.
Not quite, and they don't have to go right away. There's still lots of overworld to check. Oyster looks like he picked up his bottle, so he'll be able to check Bug Boy here. I'm also going to go over and check Ice Rock Cave. Or not, because we do have early flippers, so he'll check. We'll see maybe a hobo check and an island check over here.
Blue boomerang on the island.
Bloomerang, best boomerang. Yeah, Simple Sarah makes an interesting point. We've seen some unfortunate skips so far for Oyster. He skipped Chicken Hut, which would be his Master Sword right at the moment. We've also seen him skip the ledge check, which we know is Bow, which is going to be required. That's going to be unfortunate.
I mean, he can still look into the Chicken Hut with the bottle he got. So hopefully he will do it.
Certainly hope so, but sometimes when you're doing a lot of races, I know we've seen runners who practice ahead of time and then think they've already checked something, so they just run right by things in the past. So we'll see what he does. Meanwhile, Oyster is going to go up, looks like check the ferry. He's nowhere close to being able to get Zora, but can check Zora's ledge. Oyster finishing up, and he's going to turn around and check. Oh, there's our map check. All three crystals. Crystal 6 looks like it was Tower of Hera, and every place are crystals. So yeah, this will be interesting here.
Crystal 2 and 3, if I see that correctly, was Desert Palace and Eastern Palace.
Yep, we see Oyster navigating the dark rooms here to get the old man up on Death Mountain. He will be able to get up to Tower of Hera, but I don't know if we've seen a map check from Oyster, so he doesn't know if that's a crystal or not. Might just be trying to hit the major locations so far. And there's his map check. Meanwhile, we see Vascos doing the same thing, so we're both going to be checking Tower of Hera in this sequence break real quick.
But not too much they can check except of the Tower of Hera. So
And even then, they might be locked out of Tower of Hera. Well, they have the Fire Rod, so they have a fire source to be able to get the basement if they need to. At this point, though, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to think the lamp is going to be an Eastern, which would require a double dip into Eastern, because the lamp would be there, and you need the lamp to be able to defeat Aga to get the bow.
oh, that would be interesting.
Again, Oyster doesn't know that yet. He doesn't know. And we have the Power Glove in Tower, so that's one of two of the items already.
If they will find the hammer, maybe Oyster doesn't even think there will be, or doesn't get even the idea to go to Aga. That could be a problem if he doesn't check it later on.
Yep, and that's what that early knowledge does to you. It's not that far out of your way early on, but if you don't do it, then something like this happens, and we know that without that knowledge, Oyster could be directing and going other ways. Meanwhile, we know Vascos will be working towards that just because Bo unlocks so many different things. And the more items of value they get, the further and further away Oyster will be from possibly checking that.
He's abandoning the tower. Oh, he didn't have magic to turn on the switch, I think. But he can do it with the bomb. So why did he go out?
That's a great question. And okay, we see him routing into Kakariko Village and going to Chicken Hut. Did he suddenly realize he didn't do chicken? And he gets his Master Sword there, so that'll be good.
Doing Mordor with the Master Sword would be way easier with the Fighter Sword. But yeah, I don't know why he abandoned his idea.
I'm not really entirely sure either, because the time that you save between Master Sword and Fighter Sword Moldorm, you lose just having to retrack your steps there. Sick Kid, he did have to reroute to get Sick Kid as well, so that's interesting. Oh, he's dipping out and going to check, yeah, the backside of Escape. Not necessarily a bad play.
Let's see if he will get a key and do the whole sewers in the dark. That would be interesting. Not that easy to get a chest in the dark.
No, he does have the fire source, so he'd be able to light the lamp to do that, but he'll be saving and quitting out. Oh, and Vascos takes death. One thing to note, though, and I mentioned it early on, Vascos is 2-0 in group play, whereas Oysters is 0-2. So a lot of these risks and gambles that we see Oyster doing may be trying to differentiate himself between Vascos, knowing that he's got to make some moves here.
If he thinks he is not as good as Vascos, then he might try to get some risks in, so he might be able to beat him, but so far I don't think the risk of not going out of his way to check the ledge is not paying off.
I don't really think so either, but we'll see. There's still a lot of race to go, and I can't say with any certainty that one racer is ahead of the other. The only thing that Vascos has on Oyster right now is that knowledge that Bo is locked behind Aga. Meanwhile, Oyster's going to go ahead and pick up some, empty his bottle and maybe check to see it get, or no, he's going to head up to Zora. Vasco's getting trolled by the Trolldorm.
I hate that fight. I really hate it.
Trolldorm and Mothula are two of the more randomized fights, so it's really hard to just sequence them, like, say, Blind. Yep, Hiei pointing out that he realized that if he bought a potion, he wouldn't have enough rupees for Zora, so he just went on. Oh, Trolldorm hitting Vasco's second time.
Every time he falls down, he loses 30 seconds.
So, gonna get our life lesson from Zora here, see what we have. Just some bombs.
Expensive bombs. Neither of them checked the Eastern Palace yet, so I'm really curious if we find the hammer there. Or the lamp.
Yeah, at this point, that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to be Lamp at Eastern, requiring a double dive. Oyster doesn't know that it would require a double dive. I think Vascos might be holding off, knowing that he won't be able to complete it no matter what. That is true. Zelgadesian points out that one of the benefits for Oyster was that the rest of the items in Tower of Hera weren't of any value. You do have to clear it out for a crystal eventually. In the meantime, Vasco's going to check the back part of Escape while Oyster is checking Aga's the shed here. Yep, there was a shield at some point early in the match, but still not a lot of value. We're seeing an Eastern dive now by Oyster. This could be a good play for him.
I'm curious what we will find in the Eastern Palace.
Yep, chat, give us some predictions. What are we going to find in Eastern? We do have a possibility of 3 items. I'm seriously thinking the lamp has got to be here before the dark rooms. What's everyone think? I'm seeing Single Arrow, Moon Pearl.
Yeah, that's true. Moon Pearl is missing as well.
Yep, we still won't have Dark World access. The Moon Pearl will help solidify that, but Boots and Pearl requiring Bonk on Hook Shot Cave for Lamp. Kefka, you are an evil man. Lamp on T-Rock. Vasco's getting his life lesson. And Silvers for Vasco's. Or for Oyster, I'm sorry.
That's a really good find, because Ganon doing Silverless is not the easiest task.
Nope, we've seen a lot of Silverless Ganon fights, and um, with Master Sword early, it's possible we wouldn't see a Master Sword, another sword upgrade for a bit. But yeah, looking good so far. Oysters navigating that bone room easily. Well, my lamp hype is about dead unless it's in this big chest here. Zelna's pointing out that neither runners have done the front part of escape, so it's possible that it could be there as well. However, Oyster going to go ahead and navigate these dark rooms.
Yeah,
Yep.
Eastern Palace is quite easy in this case.
These are the dark rooms that I think every runner ends up practicing when you first are starting out on dark rooms, because they're simple squares, only one thing to pick up, and not much in your way, so it's what you want to practice if you want to get your first taste in dark rooms.
Yeah, and the second challenge is the Old Man. Getting to the Old Man and back out, that's not really easy if you've never done it. But that's the second practice you would do for dark rooms.
Yep. And Oyster
hard.
not finding, he's backing out.
So all the predictions were kinda not going well, but we have still to do the escape front side. So now he's picking up a safety bottle? No? Magic. Oh, he doesn't have any magic. Right.
See where Oysters ends up going. Oh, he's going to go. Right, because he hasn't finished Tower of Hera yet. Okay.
But buying that potion, I'm not sure why he did it. Still not. He gets a full magic refill right at the torches. So why did he? Oh, that must be the reason why he got out. He thought he can't refill his magic enough to light the torches.
Yep, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's not familiar with that full magic refill, which is unfortunate. We've seen, for example, Oysters is able to navigate those bone rooms with the proficiency that all the experts have, but not knowing that there's a magic pot there, that's gonna hurt. There's just a little knowledge gap there. Meanwhile, Vasco's going to be disappointed. Knows that it's lampless so far.
But if they don't find the hammer, I think they have to find the lamp. So Agnes Cave is still available for this case.
Yep, Agnes Cave, and at this point it feels like we're quickly running out of options. Agnes Cave and the front part of Escape.
Ice Rod Cave is still missing, I think. No one did go there.
No, I think Vascos did go there. So Vasco's backing out of Eastern now and going to flute away. Meanwhile, Oyster's going to climb Tower of Hera. Meanwhile, Vascos is going to pick up his disappointment from the sick kid. Kind of a healthy seed, though, so far for 24 minutes in. We've got 10 hearts for Vascos and 10 hearts for Oyster. So real healthy seed.
Just a green rupee on the ledge.
Yep, and we see Vascos making that play, suggested checking Agana, and if nothing's here, going ahead and going to escape before Aghanim. A hammer! Hammer in Agana's cave. Dare we say it, it's hammer time.
So Moonpearl could be in the escape.
Moon Pearl could be an escape. We could also be seeing a Moon Pearl on Pyramid as well. That's still within the realm of possibility.
I guess it will be an escape. And Lamp will be hidden somewhere in a pendant dungeon.
Meanwhile, Oyster going ahead and getting his crystal there, while Vascos makes his way through escape. Now, if, again, we still know that Oyster doesn't have the knowledge that Bo is on, is Aga required. So it's entirely possible he'll go up to escape and will completely bypass Aga if other things open up to him.
Only one chest left in the escape for Vascos, so I'm hoping my call will be right with the Moonpearl.
Now we'll see. It'll be interesting. Master Sword kind of makes this easy, along with Fire Rod. Oh, a heart. So yeah, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna do Aga and hope that we have Moon Pearl on the pyramid, maybe, or is he going elsewhere?
He can do the Eastern Death Mountain with his hammer.
Oh, that's right. Keep in mind, not only is Bo locked behind an Aga kill, Bo is also going to be locked behind the boots. So we do know that boots are required in this seed, no matter what. And looks like Oyster going the slash route to get the big key there, and will be disappointed.
Seems like he wants to preserve his magic, even though it's only one shot with the Fire Rod.
Yep, and we see Oyster going ahead and doing the Aga run. Whoa.
Oh yeah, he doesn't know about the hammer, so he didn't check this, but he's doing the gamble.
Well, we know that this is going to be a required thing anyway, but he thinks it's a gamble. He still doesn't have the knowledge that where the bow is up on that ledge, but he's doing the early Aga gambit anyway. But he He's doing it without lamp still. There's still no lamp for Aga, which is crazy. Oh, and I think maybe he just realized that he doesn't have the lamp.
Yeah, he realized.
Oh, we got Mitts, I see, from Spiral Cave.
But still no pearl, so we can't progress into the Dark World.
Not quite. He's going to go over here and check Ice Rod Cave. Seeing some talk about King's Tomb. Can't do King's Tomb yet. Boots are required to get into King's Tomb. Bombos. Bombs. Moon Pearl! Alright, so we got the Moon Pearl, and with Hammer and Mitts, Dark World is now fully accessible to us. We'll probably see something relatively quickly. And Oyster heading over to Agina, gonna find that hammer.
But early mids, that's really quite handy to have, and the hammer, so you can access from anywhere you want.
Particularly since you're already on Death Mountain, you'll be able to check Super Bunny Cave in the Dark World. Oh, we're seeing a frustration bomb there out of Oyster. Meanwhile, Vascos, we're going to check Super Bunny Cave here. Book in rupees. So we have some literacy here. That unlocks all of the tablets, and we can also do a pedestals check at some point.
Also, Desert Palace is available, but if you're bootlocked, you can't finish it. Might be still worth a check.
Was that Ether in Turtle Rock, I thought?
It was Craig, according to the tracker.
Quake, okay.
Yeah, it was Quack.
Quack. Alright. Meanwhile, we're going to see Vascos go over here and check this Ether tablet while he's up here, since he has the book now. Mire and Ice are pendants. Eastern looked like it was the green pendant. Skullwoods was 5. Oh, and Oyster tried to go Dark World, realizing that he doesn't have the pearl yet. He is locked. He can't get out. Meanwhile, Vascos, while Oyster is getting himself in order, Vascos is going to be checking Mire Shed.
Ether required for the Maya entrance. If they have to check it.
Already has Quake, so Ether required. Oyster just running out of places where he thinks he can check. I hope he remembers that he can check Death Mountain on the east side if he goes the north route. And I think he's going that way now. You can see the frustration. We saw it with the bombing of when he got hammered at Agnes Cave. He's just a little bit frustrated, maybe mixing up his routing a little bit. Meanwhile, we have Vascos going into Desert Palace, seeing if it's going to be locked behind Boots.
Yeah, maybe he's too angry to think properly. So he needs to calm down and he will be fine again. But that take a little while until he will calm down.
Oh, and there we have it. Layup in Desert Palace. Layup in Desert, that is boots locked, which means we could very well see him go up to Agata now. Or instead, he's going to go into the Dark World. So there's that.
Until they have boots, Aga isn't really. Yeah, I wouldn't do it until I have the boots. So if I save quits, I come still out in the light world.
That's fair. I mean, that's fine. Meanwhile, now that he has the Moon Pearl, we see Vascos taking out all of the Village of Outcast chests. Might check Thieves Town top 4, get lots of value out of here. He could go ahead and complete the crystal. He has the hammer, so he can still get the big chest. I know some racers are nervous without hammer in here, but he's got it. No worries then.
Yeah, it's that uneasy feeling you get when you have to leave that one chest alone and still missing one item.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Vasco's picking up the bacon sword. You know, bacon in the morning does a body good, I say. More frustration bombs from Oyster. Seeing the Moon Pearl there in that third chest.
Oyster's making his way into the dark world, like Vascos did.
Nope, it's a smart play. Might as well get super money while you're here. Can't get Hookshot Cave. Can't even get the first chest in Hookshot Cave without the boots. So some limited value, but still might as well get it while you're here. Meanwhile, we see Vascos making his way through Thieves Town.
And Oyster doesn't check either tablet.
Well, we know there's nothing of... I don't think there was anything of value on the Ether tablet, but yeah, that's interesting. There's some routing decisions that if he had it, but again, he might just be thinking, I got the Pearl now, I can do exactly what I wanted to do about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, he's going right away into the dark world. So he will pick up there where he left.
Yep, looks like he's going to check Skull Woods first. It's version 26, and as the meme goes, if it's version 26, just go to Skull Woods. It doesn't matter when you can do it, just go it as soon as you can.
Yeah, 90% of the time it holds something of value.
Oh, that's interesting. We have the Canis Amaria in Skull Woods. Meanwhile, Vascos is on his blind date right now. And pointed out, Ice Rod and Boots are all we need to find, and well, yeah, we're in go mode.
Hookshot. There are the boots.
And Boots. Well, I thought Hookshot was, we already got Hookshot, didn't we? No, we didn't. I'm sorry. This is going to be interesting to see how well Vascos does in this blind fight. He's got the fire shield, but only 3 hearts.
He has blue mail, so he might be fine.
Looks like he knows the script to this fight pretty well. Oh, it barely made it through. Whew! Well done, Vascos there.
Still a very good fight.
Still, yes. Gets the crystal. Okay, so Hookshot, we know where the bow is. Ice Rod, which can literally be anywhere.
My last race, it was at the very first chest in T-Rock, so...
And that's always rough, because you don't want to go into that place without it, but sometimes you just have to, and it depends on when you make that call.
My opponent looked all over the overworld to find the ice rod, and yeah. Was convenient for me. I took the gamble, and it paid off.
And that's what it is. This is a game of gambles with the randomizer. Oyster making his way through Skullwoods right now. Will be fighting Mothula directly with very little magic, but he did pick up that magic bottle earlier. Meanwhile, Vascos turning around and fighting the Cane, so he's that much closer to go mode.
Yeah, but he used his potion already.
Oh, he did, that's right.
Doing this fight with only Master Sword and Green Mail, 3 hearts.
Yeah, it's not an easy fight anyway, especially when Mothula is kind of sticking right close to all the spikes. You have to hit him to where you're not knocking him into the spikes, otherwise it negates the damage that you're doing.
Nicely done. Really, really well fight.
Yep, pulling it out right there. Well, we'll see if he does a quick pedestal check. Yeah, he has the book, so he'll be able to do it real quick. But going to dive in and get this last treasure chest because he did not get what he was looking for from Mothula. What kind of torture would this seed be if it was both a pedestal and an Aghanim required seed? That would be one heck of torture. And he pulls the shovel from it. Fetch quest, everyone. And we're going to get our pedestal check. So get ready. increased arrow storage, so not a required pedestal seed. Vascos with a little bit easier time because he has Tempered Sword.
And he has full hearts. So Blue Mail as well. That shouldn't be too hard. And down goes the moth.
So now that you have boots, at what point do you make the call to go ahead and go up to Aghanim if you're Vascos?
I would actually do it right now. I've cleared 2 dungeons. I could clear Eastern Palace. If I get the bow, I have silvers. Silvers speed up a lot of other dungeons.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be the right play right at the moment to go ahead and do that, just because you can dive in right away. Get the bow and then do the pod Eastern combo. Even though pod is a pendant dungeon, it's the green pendant, and there's a lot of treasures that are in there.
Yeah, and he got everything he needs to check whole pod, so I would actually do it now.
Meanwhile, we have Oyster going ahead and checking and going through Thieves Town, missing that chest there. I wonder if he's going to go back for it. No, no! Oh my goodness, Oyster, you completely missed a chest there.
He even saw the chest.
Yeah, and that was the Tempered Sword.
Yeah, he has the tempered sword.
Oh, okay. What was that item then?
Was it the item or was it the key? I don't remember. But why would you miss on purpose a chest like that? I don't know, it's not really out of your way. Another interesting choice of him.
Meanwhile, Vascos is going to be checking some Northern Hyrule, Bonk Rocks, and likely Thieves, King's Tomb, and the Graveyard Ledge. Oh, and it's entirely possible that he miscounted because he's not. If he missed and skipped the key, that's going to be the key that is required to get the big chest. And we know that the big chest holds the boots. Meanwhile, nothing of real interest in the Graveyard Ledge Cave.
Vasco's running around and collecting so much items actually and checking so much places,
Okay.
but he got the key, so it must be another item he missed.
Must be an item of low worth then.
If the boss holds the last item, he skipped the map. That was actually a good call then, but you can't know it.
Yeah, I mean, it's unusual to just because that chest is right there. There's I'm still a little bit perplexed.
Me as well. You think he forgot? Okay. I don't know if he really forgot it because he went past it 2 times. So you see it.
Yeah. Also, meanwhile, Vascos is picking up his butter sword at Catfish, and that's going to make it an easy call to go ahead and go to Aghanim now. Oh, he's going to do the... What? Oh, he didn't get this treasure chest. He didn't do the back part of escape.
Yeah, he is still he's here and he can check it really fast. Then mirror out again.
Yeah,
Get
I
to
mean, we
the-
know it. I don't think it's anything because we've already been in here, I believe, but...
No one did check this yet. No one tried to do it in the dark, so yeah, just 20 rupees.
Yep, so he's going to turn around and head that direction right away. So still waiting for Hookshot and Ice Rod to officially be in go mode. But otherwise, he's got silvers, he's got butter sword. I mean, the rest of the dungeons are going to be pretty easy, all things considered.
Yeah, with blue mail and the red shield, he is pretty safe as well. If he gets cape or Cane of Burnout, then yeah, I think he will easily run through dungeons and don't die.
About the only one that I could see him having some possibility of having difficulty with is Vitreous, just because of all the damage that Vitreous can put out if you don't have the Cane of Brian or the cape. But still not a difficult fight when you have butters and silver. Oh, and Vitreous isn't required, so yeah.
Yeah, but if Vitreous can sometimes be really trolly and hold an item you need.
I mean, we've seen a lot of value so far in this tournament from going into the pendant dungeons. Meyer being pendant, it might be worth checking at least a little bit if we start getting down and wondering where the heck this hook shot is.
I think in the race I saw yesterday, there was vanilla location for Samaria, so maybe get something similar, just a hookshot this time.
Meanwhile, we have Oyster taking Jeremiah back. Oh, and getting half magic from the Smiths. Interesting. Dwarven Smiths giving you access to half magic. Yep, Oyster still not having gone into desert, which is where that lamp is located. So, another thing to put off because he can't really. Well, we presume he's already backed out of doing Aghanim once because he didn't have the lamp.
But his routing is actually pretty good. I mean, he cleared Skywoods, then Thiefstown, and now he's running around with the purple chest, meanwhile doing Stampy and other stuff. So the routing he took was not really a bad choice.
Yeah, I can't say that the routing was a bad choice either, and, well, now he's checking this shovel spot for rupees, and he's going to go back, and I think the treasure chest is going to be gone.
Yeah, it will be gone. He's double checking. Yeah, the if you talk to Stumpy, then the chest will stand still and not follow you anymore. So you have to recollect it, I would say.
Yep. Since he's already here, he's going to go ahead and check Hype Cave, which we'll see if Hype Cave lives up to that name, or if we're back to its new name, the Cave of Mediocrity. Vasco's making a beeline for that bow. Rupees, 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 and arrows. So, not a very valuable Hype Cave.
Yeah, in version 26 you get a lot of money in there.
Cave of Mediocrity it is today. Meanwhile, Vasco picking up his bow, and that's going to be a big play for him. Making another dive into the dark world. We'll see which way Vasco does. Meanwhile, Oyster is going to check the shed over here.
And he will find blue mail.
The gravity suit in his case. Now, it looks like he's finally going to be checking desert to see what's available here. He'll pick up his lamp, which, seeing what he's done so far, he'll probably bomb that treasure chest as well.
I was about to say the same. You will be angry seeing that.
Oh, absolutely, I would be. It's kind of a trolly spot for the lamp, just because you have to go so far out of your way to get to it. Zelnus is saying, does point out he can beat this dungeon if he wants to go ahead, because when Vascos last came in here, he did not have the dash boot, so he was locked out. And triple factorial, yes, that's right. He still doesn't know AGA 1 is required. He has not yet been to even check the lumberjack cave. He did try to do AGA because he didn't know where else to go, but then realized he didn't have the lamp. Meanwhile, Vasco's going to take Jeremiah back home, while Oyster checks the big chest.
And just a heart piece. Yeah, he will finish now Desert Palace, as it looks.
I mean, it's a crystal dungeon. You might as well go ahead and do it while you can.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
already.
believe. Meanwhile, Vascos is going to take his try at the purple chest. I believe he's already cleared most of this out, so he doesn't necessarily have a lot of places to check on his way.
They have both red crystals, so maybe he will check Fat Fairy after the Hype Cave. I would do it.
Does he? I know Tower of Hera was a crystal, and where I don't.
Morph. According to the tracker, Morph is a red crystal, so they should have it.
Okay, I'm looking at the multi-twitch and Vascos. I didn't see it there, so. Meanwhile, Vasco's doing things in the order to keep the treasure chest, so he doesn't have to backtrack for it. I'm going to
Now
check
he abandons it?
mediocrity.
He abandoned the purple chest for I don't know what reason.
I don't know either, unless you could pick it up on your way back because he hasn't left the dark world. But we see Oyster making a play on Ice Palace. The chest does stick around, it looks like, so he went ahead and grabbed it. Wow. All just for 20 bucks. Meanwhile, wonder where Oyster's going. Vasco's checking Bombo's tablet, just getting some arrows. Meanwhile, he's going to check the ether tablet. Okay. And Vascos is going to probably finish Desert Palace because he wasn't able to do it earlier. Picks up the shield.
Is Oyster going to into T-Rock? Looks like it.
Man, that would be a risky play going into T-Rock. I mean, it's without Ice Rod, without bow, without hook shot. So, I mean, you can do most of it, but it's not. It's going to be a pretty painful dungeon, all things considered. He does have Quake, so he can get in there.
Yeah, maybe he thinks he will find the bow in here.
Yeah, you don't
Or the hook
technically bow or hook shot. Hook shot is nice for that first torch room, but yeah, you don't need bow. So he might be thinking because you don't technically need either of those items, he can get in there.
I'm curious when he will realize he needs Aga for the bow.
I don't know. I'm going to do a quick refresh. I think I'm behind.
Vasco's using the silvers for this fight. And he missed a couple of shots.
Looks like he gets his crystal pretty quickly. Meanwhile, from where I'm sitting at right now, we have Oyster having to take the long route to get these torches done. Finally gets there.
Oh, he barely made it in.
Yep. Picks up a bottle of red goo there. Meanwhile, it looks like Vascos is going to be heading over doing the Pod Eastern combo.
Yeah, not a bad idea, since, I mean, Pod holds 6 items. Can hold 6 items.
Oh, and Oyster takes a death in the chain shop room right after he gets the chest to spawn. That's unfortunate. And is mirroring out.
Vasco's losing the monkey on his way to Pod.
Yep. Simple Sarah makes an interesting point. I'm assuming she, if not, my apologies. Wonder if Vascos doesn't realize the fairy is an option right now. Seems like it'd be a solid play given how quick it is. That's entirely possible. I was following Vascos' tracker, someone on the multi-twitch, and he has the Mothula just marked as a regular crystal and not one of the 5/6 crystals. So I'm betting you're right. He doesn't realize it.
Oh, that's why he didn't check it after Hype Cave.
Yep, I don't think he realizes that he has both the 5 and the 6 crystal.
Happens to me sometimes as well. Then at some point I realize when I press start, oh, I have 2 red crystals. I can check Fat Fairy, so why not going there now? And then it pays off, and I'm hating myself for not realizing earlier.
Well, just a minor mental lapse. He still has options in terms of clearing things out, so I mean, not necessarily bad options, I'll say. Uh-oh, here we have Oyster is finally checking the ledge, saying, oh, there's the bow!
Now he's gonna be pissed.
Ah, poor Oyster. We're gonna have to ask him about that in the after commentary. It's like, well, how angry were you for various things? And immediately gonna go to Aghanim. Meanwhile, Vascos makes quick work of Eastern.
So Vascos has only Swamp and T-Rock left as crystal dungeons, but is still missing the hookshot.
Still missing the hook shot. Neither. I mean, you can't. You can technically get T-Rock, but without hook shot doesn't make it fun necessarily. So yeah, we see Vascos going through here. Tell me a little bit, Dustin, if you were in Oyster's shoes right now, and you just now found that the bow was on the ledge, what would your emotional state be? How angry would you be at yourself?
I would be really frustrated right now. Then you see, I mean, he is going through the maze here, and he is kinda doing silly mistakes. So it really wears you off. Not sure if he can calm down in the next 5 minutes or so. So yeah, I hope he will. Otherwise, his play will not be on point. His execution will lag in some cases, and he will not do as well as he could do.
Meanwhile, we're seeing Vascos working his way through Pod diligently. Pod, what I like to call the mullet dungeon, all the keys, thus business in the front, party in the back. I will make that joke every time someone goes into Pod 2.
I think Vascos has really found every key almost so far. Not a single item, if I recall correctly.
Yep, he's found just about every key. Now he's struggling a little bit to get past these wonderful individuals.
Yeah, if you're not fast enough with your bonk there, then the red one will always get in the way.
Yep. Meanwhile, he gets there, and we have the Aga fight going on right now.
So 2 small keys left, and then he 1 small key left for Vascos. Then he has to find items.
Yep, and we have a cape here.
So he got all the small keys and the big key. I'm not sure if he found the compass so far.
Nope, not compass or map. So we have 4 treasures left, and we need compass and map. 2 treasure chests, big chest, and then on Helmasaur.
And down goes Akaran.
Yep, we'll see Oyster just about immediately probably going to go get his bow.
And Vasco decides to finish Pod. Yeah, he will finish it.
Yeah.
Not a bad decision, since it's a green pendant dungeon, if I recall correctly. So he will get maybe 2 items.
Well, he got the map and compass from the while navigating that dark room and from the big chest. So we know that Helmasaur is going to have at least 1 item. And with the green pendant and you're right next to Sahasrahla, might as well get it both. It's not necessarily a bad play, particularly since it'd be the only pendant dungeon I think so far that he's completed. Yep.
He didn't even check Ice Palace or Misery Mire yet, so why not? Why not finish this one, and you can always check then afterwards the other dungeons.
Ooh, Riot Shield up on the bumper cave ledge.
That's a good routing decision from Oysters.
Oyster's picking up his bow. He did not bomb the D, he just hammered it.
Probably now checking Graveyard and all the other stuff while he's here.
Yep, that would be a good routing decision there. Meanwhile, chat is doing its customary chat work, finding the most torturous thing that could possibly happen at this point. Ether being locked behind Cold Stare, with Ice Rod being locked behind Vitreous.
And one of my races, I had to go into T-Rock. T-Rock was a pendant dungeon, blue pendant, and I found the boots at the laser room. Then left of Sanctuary, I found the Ice Rod. Had to go back to kill Trinex to get my bow to finish Eastern Palace.
Yeah, that's a dot forfeit for me.
As a viewer, I always hope for such things, but as a player, I hate these kind of situations.
Sahasrahla giving magic powder, so fetch quest. Yes, that's what we do as fans. When we're watching other people play, we want the most torturous seeds that we would never want to play ourselves.
That's true.
Meanwhile, Oyster going to be picking up his butter sword.
Yeah, and Vasco's going to T-Rock.
Vascos could be doing T-Rock. He could also be doing Spike Cape because he got the cape now as well.
Yeah, looks like it, since he or maybe, yeah, maybe he will do it. I just forgot they don't have the hook shot, so he can't go right. He has always to go left. And he goes to T-Rock.
Yep, certainly.
Oyster's now doing the port play. Yeah. So port and Eastern Palace combo.
Yep, it's a good combo if you can get, if things line up to be able to do it that way. Oh, and we'll throw another one in for you guys as well. Instead of Cold Stare hiding Ether, which with Ice Rod being behind Vitreous, instead we'll give the hook shot to Vitreous, and you'll have to go into swamp to get the ice rod. Just gonna extend that one out.
Yeah, big chest. In swamp.
Yeah, after the big key is dropped from Argus. We'll see how Vascos navigates this wonderful, wonderful room now that you have to forget half the time that you can't hookshot your way out of it. So
Yeah, I always go the same way as he does right now. It's a long way, but since he doesn't have hookshot, he has to do it like this.
well, it's one of those things, if you don't have hookshot, you gotta wonder that your opponent probably doesn't have hookshot too, unless you missed something. Jerky makes an interesting point. These seeds seem like it's front-end loaded, leaving like 2 items till go mode, then 1 hour still missing 1 item for that. It's true. We've seen a lot of seeds like that where it's, you know, lots of wonderful value early, but then you get there and you're like, where's my stuff?
That's what I said at the beginning, so yeah, I know the torture of searching the whole map, the whole overworld or dungeons for just 1 item you need.
Oh, and there's Ether in the middle of T-Rock.
Maybe Maya required?
Maybe Maya required. That would be trolly, putting unlocking Meyer, which is a pendant dungeon, but in T-Rock, which is a pendant dungeon. Someone says Ice Rod at Vitreous. So you have to dip into here to get Ether, requiring a double dip, which means, what, hookshot behind Trinex? In the meantime, we're checking Mimic Cave here, and Mushroom Fetch Quest. Oh, all the fetch quests. Someone quick, make the meme. All the fetch quests.
Yeah, we know what pedestal is. It was an arrow upgrade, I think.
Going through here, making his way through the dark room. About to get to the wonderful, the fantastic, the often mocked, never repeated laser bridge. Oh, and hook shot. And the last chest on the laser bridge. So he's finding the value there. And he says, nope, I've had enough. I've gotten my value out of here. I'm out. He's got hookshot. He's going to make his way up to Hookshot Cave. Really a pretty decent play because you can get a lot of chests in a small amount of time there. Meanwhile, Oyster picking up his cape. Zelnus, we don't call every seed bad, we just want every seed to be bad, because it's more fun that way. No, at this point, well, I mean, Ice Rod is still required to get through, so hopefully he finds it soon. He doesn't, I mean, he has Swamp Palace that he can do and clear out before then, so he's got options. But we also know that he hasn't checked the Paladine Fairy quite yet. I call her the Paladine Fairy because she gives you the butter. Also,
Nothing in Hookshot Cave?
Nope, nothing in Hookshot Cave of value.
It would be too convenient to get the ice rod there.
Maybe a little bit too convenient, but going to head over here to Spike Cave.
That's what we don't want to see. Convenient things.
Convenient things are less fun for us. Raven Darkheart? No, I don't think Raven that Vascos realizes he has 5/6 yet. If you look on his stream, which is what I'm watching, he has Mothula, which was one of the 5/6 ones marked as a regular crystal. So he probably doesn't even realize he has 5/6 right at the moment. Meanwhile, Vascos is going to start his fetch questathon between the mushroom, the magic powder, drugs for money. While he's here, it looks like he's going to go ahead and pick up some Baja Blast.
Oyster's just finished pot. Probably going to the old man with his green pendant.
Yep, that would be a logical play since you're just right here. Meanwhile, we see Vascos on his way to Swamp Palace, which does have 6 unique items in it, so Definitely a worthwhile dungeon to full clear. We'll see if he checks the left side at all first. Yep, version 26 does like Swamp Palace. We've seen a lot of items here, and there's 6 items to get. Seems perfectly logical to me that you'd want to get that.
Oyster's checking right away what the powder holds.
This could be big. I mean, we're seeing Vascos avoiding getting it. If there's something of value at bat, then this could be a pretty big play for Oyster.
And we have the ice rod.
No, no. We have Brian, looks like. Oh, I'm sorry. Vascos picked up the ice. Okay.
Yeah, Vascos.
Okay, I was looking down and watching the bat.
First chest and swamp.
Yeah, Vasco's got ice. I was checking out Brian. So my fault, but we have Vascos then officially in go mode.
Oysters might be checking the Fat Fairy now, or he will go into swamp without a hookshot. I mean, he can check 4 chests there without it.
Yeah, but it looks like he is going to go ahead and check Pauladine.
So Vasco's mistake of misclicking saved him time, actually. Otherwise he would probably check Fat Fairy as well.
I certainly would have. I mean, that's just an easy one to get. And not even bothering to check other chests. He's got Butter Sword, he's got Silver Arrows. He knows he doesn't need anything else for Ganon, so he's just going to go right through it.
Since he did Aga 1, they can check really fast what the fairy holds, so...
And nothing from Pauladine.
Unfortunate, yes. So Oysters has to go to G-Rock, hopefully. Where is he going? Is he going for the purple chest? I think he will check the purple chest. And a quick kill for Vascos with the silver arrow. Back to T-Rock for Vascos and finishing it up. Raven already guessing for the big key in Ganon's tower. Yeah, it was a really good play from Vascos to go up to Turtle Rock. I mean, Oysters did the same call earlier, but he died, so he should have gone into it further.
Yeah, it's going to be an unfortunate call. And, we'll see if we get some bombs out of him, or maybe a bombos or hammering or something.
Yeah, we probably will.
So we are sitting here at an hour and 36 minutes. We know that Vascos will be getting into Turtle Rock now. What's the tracker say? How many crystals does Oyster have?
Oyster is missing Swamp and Turtle Rock as crystals.
Okay, so he's only technically one crystal behind, but he doesn't have that hook shot.
Oh, he's going into Swamp now. He will get his Ice Rod. Maybe he will finish Turtle Rock afterwards.
Yeah, the way this ended up being, I don't know. Either Turtle Rock or Swamp Palace requires a double dip just because they each had one of the other items necessary. So
I wonder what he will do when he finds the Ice Rod now.
Vascos, making quick work, says, nope, don't need to double check anything. I'm done. Get me through here. Well, and he'd already done all this, so.
Yeah, he checked already everything in here.
So, if you're Oyster, you get the ice rod early on. Do you immediately bug out and go, or do you try to clear out the rest of the chests, hoping that the hook shot is here? We know it'd be the wrong decision to stay around, but what would you do if you were in this routing decision?
Since I got the one item, I think I would go out and first finishing the dungeon I can, and that would be T-Rock.
Yeah,
Double bombing. Because I can't finish this one, I'm pretty sure of it, I can't finish it, so I would be hoping that Turtle Rock holds the other item. Since I can't finish it, maybe I would get the item.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. I mean, it's a difficult decision one way or the other. It could be vanilla in here. You might end up going. You know for a fact you can clear T-Rock, but man, what a difficult decision to have to make. Good cycle on Trinex here. We have a good fight, and he's got Butter Sword, so this should be a very quick fight.
Nice fight from Vascos.
Very nice. And that's his 7th crystal. So, ladies and gentlemen, Vascos will be on his way to Ganon's Tower, which means it's everyone's favorite game. Which key is the big key in, or which chest is the big key in? Dustin, what chest are you going to go for?
I would say 11.
That's going to be Randomizer, isn't it? Usually, I mean, if he goes left side first.
I think if you I always check the right side first, the 2 chests, and then immediately go left. No matter if I get a key or not, people tend to go right side if they get a key. Some people do. So I'm assuming that he checks right side, the 2 chests, and then goes left.
Okay, that'll be interesting. I've been guessing the firebar room. I think that's 7 if you do standard routing there, there on the left side. He gets the key, but he's still going to bug out and go over there to the left side running.
I would do the same.
Yep, I mean, it's what I do all the time, too. Oh, and it's on the torch!
Well, that's 3. Who won with 3? Simple Sarah won.
Well done, Simple Sarah. You win our admiration and respect. That's it. Of course, getting that early is not good for Oyster. He's still behind. 2 dungeons left to go because it requires that double dip, unfortunately, and he's going to be on his way up to T-Rock now.
Did he check both chests on the left side? I didn't see it. I only saw the one chest. He just checked and then mirrored out.
Yeah, I think it was just one chest and mirrored out. Normally, I mean, it just takes a long time to check that other chest, but he was already there. Normally, you can hookshot over and get that.
Yeah, I think he caught on of the idea to finishing Turtle Rock first.
It's possible. With silvers and butter, of course, Vasco's making quick work of this gauntlet. Suryu hookshot was in the 4th chest of Laser Bridge. Vasco's going to use his magic powder to fill up on some hearts before the Land Mollusk fight. Using silvers. Nope, didn't get the 1 cycle.
Change homes number 2 for Oysters.
Yep, first time he died to chain chomps and then bugged out, didn't continue, so it would have been extra trolly if that's where the hook shot would have been, and he would have bugged out after that. That could have been even more of a killer.
That would have been a big play if he would have continued here and found the hookshot early. Since he didn't go into T-Rock on a later point.
Yeah, that could have been a huge play if Oyster would have stuck there. It would have definitely made things a lot more even. Unfortunately, coulda, shoulda, woulda, didn't end up making that play. Yeah, we had a forced double dip into either T-Rock or Swamp Palace. One of the two required because Ice Rod was in the first chest of Swamp Palace, whereas Hookshot was in Laser Bridge. So one of the two, you couldn't finish one without completing the other. Meanwhile, we see Oyster making his way slowly through. It'd be interesting to see when he gets the hook shot. Oyster has had some of the best reactions, I think, to where items have been located so far. Not that his routing's been bad, he's just unfortunately made some bad gambles. Oh, run invalidated. Didn't pick up the validation chest. Bad on you, Vascos. Oyster picking up all these fetch quest items and going, no, it's not there, is it?
Oh, he missed all the hits in the first cycle.
This is a little bit rougher of an Aghanim fight, but nope, he's getting 2 shots there. See, validation arrow, we know. Oyster, you really won this race. You picked up the validation arrow. We appreciate you. Yeah, it was kind of a long Aghanim fight, but Vascos is well in the lead. I don't know if he I hope he doesn't realize how far in the lead he is at this point in time. And we're going to see, yep, he's going to do his save. And we'll see, because it's in this first chest here on the back side. Yep, there's hookshot. But he's down to business now. Now he doesn't see it. Neither player sees a dot done. So if you're Oyster, maybe you think you're close.
Yeah, as long as Vasco didn't press or write done in the chat, I think he Oysters is still hyped to race and to go fast.
Yep, so he's not, for example, didn't do any more frustration slashes more than needed, but nice double hit to end the run. GG Vascos with an official, I'm not seeing a GG yet. Oh, with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 55 seconds. GG Vascos. Meanwhile, we see Oysters finishing up Trinex here. Oh, and takes a death, unfortunately. GG here, Vascos. How you doing?
Yeah, thanks, GG. Doing good.
GG.
A bit nervous.
GG here, Vascos. How you doing? Yeah, it ended up being a real interesting race. Not to say that you were that far ahead a whole lot, but yeah, it got to the point where a real interesting race. Not to say that you were that far ahead. The difference was he made an early dive into T-Rock, but then died before he could get the hook shot. So that made the difference. He ended up backing out, and that would have been big, but you kept on going.
Was kind of expecting that, honestly. finding the hook shot there.
Yeah, at that point, did you think you were pretty far behind because of where that hook shot placement was, and then the ice rod placement in Swamp?
I was a bit frustrated at that ice rod, yeah. But when I found hookshot, I thought I was ahead. But when I then found the ice rod, I thought I was behind.
Yeah, it was interesting watching that. So either Turtle Rock or Swamp Palace required a double dip. Um, so real kind of, it's not necessarily a frustration seed, but because you still ended up at sub 150. Just a great race overall by you. Very efficient in everything you've done.
Yeah, I tried doing that, but I'm kind of not that high on doing that much overworld in the current logic. I think I cleared everything. Yeah, everything besides Fat Fairy and Powder Bat.
Well, that was curious because we're watching through the multi-twitch, and you didn't have Mothula marked as one of the 5-6 dungeons, so we were thinking you didn't even realize how early you had access to Fat Fairy.
No, I did realize that. I just didn't think it would be there. Just by how the logic has been lately.
Well, I mean, ended up being the correct call at the end of the day because there really wasn't anything there after you went through, and as soon as you hit that ice rod, you hit go mode, and we're just kind of off to the races.
Yeah. It was kind of nice go moding Swamp. At least I got that going for me. But I was a bit afraid that Ice Rod might have ended up in Mire because I found Ether.
Well, if Chet had its way, it would have been an Ether, and then, yeah, or Ether would have been in Ice Palace, which, yeah, they were coming up with all sorts of cold ones.
Cold Stare, yes. Cold Stare having Ether, then dipping into Maya or even finishing Maya to get the hook shot from Witches, and all that kind of stuff. Also, what it was interesting to read. What they had in mind for you.
I was a bit afraid that I might find Ice Rod or Mushroom. That's why that was almost the first thing I checked after Turtle Rock. So.
Now, another big difference in this match actually ended up being you did the early check for the Aghanim ledge, which Oyster hadn't checked for a long time, so we knew that you had the knowledge. It's like, okay, Ag is going to be required for that bow. And he just didn't check it, so we knew everything you were doing felt like it was building up to that. Is that right?
Yeah, I was basically just waiting for the right equipment to do Aghanim. Or rather, how much equipment I would get before I needed to do that. And clearing the dungeons on the way.
Have you ever practiced Darkroom Aghanim just because it was so long until you got into the lamp there?
No, actually not. But I don't think it would have been that good in this seed. Especially since I found Gold Sword in the end. Which makes the tower way faster. Same for half magic, but still.
I mean, all things considered, it ended up getting through pretty quickly there, but still, GG, you move on to 3-0 in group play. You got to be feeling pretty good about yourself at this point.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that I got this good a time in a Aghanim required seed. And a double dip in T-Rock.
No, it was definitely a jet seed, so GG to yourself. Do you have any parting thoughts or comments here?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to my match against Kevin. We should be scheduling that too soon. Yeah. Other than that, not really.
Awesome. Well, GG to you, VascosBot. Good luck further in the tournament. 3-0, moving on in group play. Good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Yep. Thanks.
Going over his stats here. It wasn't a terribly healthy seed, all things once you got to the end of it. Didn't look like.
It was kind of at the beginning with the 10 hearts really early, like 30 minutes into the seed. But then it slowed drastically down.
Well, they ended up getting all the items later, which is interesting. Made kind of it for an interesting seed. Never had to go into Ice Palace or Misery Mire. I think that's the first for me in this logic, being able to skip 2 pendant dungeons entirely.
Yeah. Same for me. But it's nice to see that there's so much variation in version 26 that it can be anywhere.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Oyster finishes his last crystal. Vascos, look at that menu time. 3 minutes and 51 seconds in menus. That's a pretty quick menu time there.
Vascos mentioning that you could have skipped all the pendant dungeons. I think he's true. He didn't find anything of value in Port.
That's right. I mean, you had the Magic Cake, which he ended up using for a little bit in T-Rock, but yeah, I don't think so. Version 26 has kind of trained all of us into thinking that go into the pendant dungeons, but absolutely right. There was nothing of value there.
Yeah, it trains you to go into pendant dungeons or go into dungeons at all and search for the items there, and here didn't have to dip in anyone. But it keeps things interesting.
It does. And it has kind of an impact on the rest of the race, because when you see it, the more times people see not having to go into it, it reinforces that maybe I don't have to, which makes diving into the pendant dungeons even more exciting. So it's just adding to the excitement all the way around.
Oyster's on his way to Ganon Tower.
Yep. Hopefully he'll take a peek at the left side, seeing that key on the torch early. In the meantime, while we're watching this, let's give another shout out to both of our runners, VascosBot and OysterSA. Both of these runners have put on a great show for us. You should give them a like and give them a follow. Meanwhile, also our wonderful tracker, Kermit, who's been doing an absolutely amazing job. Our restreamer, Zelnus, who's been doing great. My co-commentator, Dustin, and myself, Vitasia. I hope you like us and what we're doing here for you. Dustin. Oh, sorry. You
No
haven't
problem.
corrected me. I've been saying it wrong this entire time.
No problem. I'm used to it, so I don't mind it.
Oh my gosh, I feel so bad, Dustin.
Yeah,
My
it's
gosh.
no problem. I mean, in my group chat, they all say it first, Dustin. I don't know why, but yeah. Oyster's having problems with the mimics.
Already down to 4 hearts. He knows, I think he's already seen the dot done, so just for safety's sake, I can see him stopping by the fairies, picking that up so he doesn't, just for safety's sake.
Yeah, I think after he died at Trinex, he stopped shortly to riot with Vascos. At least it looked like it. So he wrote GG and stuff.
Yep.
You were right, he's picking up the fairies for safety.
Meanwhile, let's also plug the other work that our wonderful developers are doing. They are in the process of developing Link's Awakening for the Game Boy as a randomizer. Now, stop and think. For those of you who played Link's Awakening, there is a 25-part or so fetch quest. Can you imagine that being randomized?
It will be fun to watch.
Oh, I will enjoy watching it. I will enjoy playing it. I will probably be no good at it, though.
I won't be playing it. I have the addiction to Link to the Past already, so I don't need another game. Two-cycle from Oysters.
Meanwhile, we're seeing Oyster finishing up his gauntlet, getting ready for the final confrontation with Aghanim. There is another race going on right now over on, or it's about to start over here on the main schedule. So if you have not checked these players out, on Speed Gaming 3, we have El Magus versus Zelda on Speed Gaming 3 with GamerCal and Ninnies giving the call. We also have lots of randomizer action. If I'm counting right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different matches just on the secondary schedule, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the main schedule. So lots of randomizer action today. It's a great day to watch if you've been around. Meanwhile, we have the final confrontation with Aghanim. 0 to start, unfortunately. Blue balls are trolling today. Oh, and there we go.
Not a bad fight.
Yeah, it was like 3-0-0-2-1. So the blue ball's really trolling both of our players for the runs. Herfy finally making an appearance. Again, I don't think we should anticipate any difficulty with this Ganon fight, simply because Butter Sword, Silver Arrows, plenty of health. This is the match that our players practice for. Hiei reminding us to give these runners a follow, OysterSA and VascosBot. Also, our wonderful restreamer, Zelnus, our wonderful tracker, Kermit, my wonderful co-commentator, Dust Sen. Making sure I get it right. Oh!
Perfect, man.
Oyster takes a fall. And there's myself, Vatasia. As he's climbing his way back up, just a reminder, on this channel, I believe here in about an hour, we have Bamboo Shadow versus Signums. And you have the wonderful Dr. Bob Tastic and Dark Shadows 59 on the call. Really wonderful racers, really wonderful commentators. If you're not doing anything else this afternoon, you should give them a like and a listen as well. Whoa, bucko. No empty bottles. Vascos is in the Twitch chat. Uh-oh. Trouble. Oh, and he admits it, double DQ. Yeah, you didn't open the validation chest, Vascos. We were sorely disappointed in you.
Oasis didn't check it as well. He just gave it a quake.
Oh, right. Vascos, I don't care what you do in your personal time. That's between you and yourself there. Finishing off, we're on the final phase of Ganon again. Gets the double hit. And we have a dot done from OysterSA.
Really good last phase.
Yep, very good with the final SRL time of 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 47 seconds. GG, Oysters. GG, Oysters. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling like I need to find a windmill to go tilt that properly.
Yeah, we
GG,
can
man.
tell you have some of the most entertaining frustration emotes in game.
Why, thank you. Honestly, it came down to the fact that my last race had things like Hookshot and Hookshot Cave, and the Master Sword was 3 chests away from Validation Chest in Ganon's Tower. So I was thinking too hard. I got the gloves and the hammer, and it was like, all right, I can get to Cave 32 or whatever that Circle of Bushes cave is called. No, I can't. I was just thinking too hard about it.
Yep, the one thing, you made the early dive into Turtle Rock, and we were thinking if you just would have kept on going instead of dodging out after your first death there, this could have been a very different race.
Yeah, that hook shot would have changed things, wouldn't it?
It would have changed things quite a bit. Your routing was fine. It was just, every risk that seemed like you take didn't end up panning out, unfortunately.
I was holding out hope for Green Pendant to powder to something cool. I was so hyped for that.
You and all of chat were hoping. You should have seen the horrible, horrible ideas they had for you.
I bet. Oh, man.
I would like to know what did go through your mind when you saw the bow on the ledge?
Honestly, the exact thing that went through my mind was, this is a fantastic time to be trying new routes like this. I normally open with Sanctuary to check that cave.
Yeah, and it ended up, we saw the early check from Vascos, so we knew where it was, and we just kept on begging that you check it, but you had no idea. We thought you even made an early play on Aga, and then I think we're overthinking, realized you didn't have the lamp, and those are not easy dark rooms.
The 2 dark rooms that I cannot do are Mire and Aga Tower. Yup. It was a good time. I'm feeling a lot better about it now that it's over. So there's that.
Yeah, I think you'll see it was a lot closer than the final time ended up showing it being, just because of that. If you would have had that dive into Turtle Rock and kept going, this would have been a very, very different race from start to finish.
Yeah. I know that Vascos has won basically every other race that he's done, and I let that get to my head, honestly. I tilted easily and recovered for a bit and then went right back to it. But hey, learning process.
Yep, that's the nature of Rando. In the meantime, we're going to have to get out of here. I know our restreamer has to get set up for the next match here before too long, but thank you so much, and GG.
It was indeed a GG. It wouldn't be a V26 if I didn't do an unnecessary dungeon.
Don't we all know? Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us here in the channel. My name's Vatasia.
My name is Dustin. And thanks for watching, everyone.
Yep, enjoy the rest of Randomizer for the day.
I can't let you pass, 'cause you ain't done everything.